The Bible, pleasure to meet you. It's a special gig tonight, a special celebration of 25 years since that launch of that fantastic album, Eureka. What's the first thing that comes to mind when you think of those times?
That was a difficult record to make. We made it once and then we scrapped it, and then we made it again, being produced by Steve Earle, which is a very exciting time. So memories start a bit weird and end up quite good.
And we recorded it just down the road from here, didn't we?
With some of it, yeah. We're on Upper Street here, and we've got a studio called The Angel, just up there.
Which is still doing very well. Some of the few big London studios are still left.
Yeah. We didn't manage to close that one down, which was...
How did Steve Earle get involved then?
He heard our first record, which is an indie record, called Goes Back Home, because his sister-in-law, of which he's had many, he's been married many times, used to work at Slash Records in Los Angeles, and she played it to him. He liked it, and at the same time, the people who were looking after us were looking for a producer, and they sort of suggested him. So, we thought, why not? And I remember the very first day we met him, he came into the studio, and he'd just been attacked, hadn't he, by a policeman in a nightclub. With a nightstick, because he was trying to... A policeman in a nightclub. He'd been trying to resuscitate someone in a nightclub. The policeman thought he was attacking him. He got him round the neck with his nightstick like that. And it burst all the blood vessels in his eyes. So the very first time we met him, he looked like a vampire, didn't he?
And also, the first time I met him, he showed me where he'd been shot by a Mexican. So he showed me a bullet hole. He had this sort of scary eyes. I really thought of him for
I told him I scabbed my knee when I fell off the climbing frame. He didn't pay much attention.
But so he, did he sort of shape the album in quite a big way?
He just reminded us that we were a live band and we should play.
Yeah. Which was kind of inspiring at the time, because we'd been told that we had to record drums like one at a time and do all our bits separately. It was kind of exciting to be reminded that we were good. He said, "You're good, just do it." Really.
Yeah, so more or less the record was recorded live with a couple of overdubs, which was very rare at that time.
It was quite hard to do, yeah. It was very unfashionable, wasn't it? Because everybody was using sequencers and sort of drum machines.
You'd spend the first day just listening to a bass drum or something.
Yeah, we had to fight against that, didn't we? To actually record with real instruments and in real time and stuff. So he did a lot for that. He was very good at that, wasn't he? Unlike some other producers we've played with, who didn't. They insisted on using technology and stuff, but it sounded horrendous. It just wasn't our sound at all, really. So.
Why Eureka then?
Why?
Yeah.
Just thought it was a nice title, that's all. That was no other reason. I was like...
We had a song called Eureka.
Which we're going to play tonight, probably. I think for the first time ever,
that song.
live, we're going to play.
I think we have.
Have we?
Yeah, way back when.
Really?
Yeah.
Can you wipe that bit out, Bammy?
Sorry, I think we have.
From that album, from Eureka, then, what are your favourite track off the album?
Well, I like skywriting because I wrote most of the sort of chords for that, and it was a piano-based thing. I wrote it in my flat in Cambridge on the piano, and Boot came around and added the top line and stuff. So that's my favourite, definitely. It's a good piano tune. There's some nice changes.
My favourites are the ones that I did more on.
That's fair enough.
You did more
on? Which one would be the personal highlight?
I'm joking, of course. Skywriting. I don't know, Tiny Lights is my favourite, I think, at the moment, and it's one that we never play live and aren't doing today. So.
It's a really impressive recording, that one, isn't it?
Yeah.
I like skywriting. I like Cigarette Girls a lot. That was exciting because we needed one more song and he just told us to get something together overnight, and we did. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
That was exciting, Steve. He was good at pushing us. So. Which one do you like?
Skywriting's my favourite.
Right.
Melody and keyboard going all over the top of it. It's lovely. Lovely. There you go. Even more praise.
I love Red Hollywood because that's probably Neil's finest recording. Absolutely brilliant. So playing that.
It has to be said as well that you did used to design our record covers, and they look really lovely still, even 25 years later. They kind of don't look sort of naff, do they? So well done there.
Yeah, I like the way you made us all look young as well. That was good.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, in the pictures, yeah. How did you do that?
One thing I wanted to ask is that on Graceland, there's so many different recordings of it. I mean, I must have at least 5. Why was that particular track sort of re-recorded sort of
There's
several
only
times?
actually 2 recordings.
There's 3. I think it's 3. No, there's only. No, you're right. There's only 2. There was the original one that cost 40 quid, recorded at the end of this street as well.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
There used to be a
Red Shop.
a Red Shop Recorders, which was on the roundabout. It's underneath the shop there, and then
That was remixed, wasn't it?
It was remixed.
Oh, yeah,
Two
probably the
versions of that.
and then
remix.
we
I'm
recorded it
thinking,
again, which Leroy's on that, and that was recorded by a man who's coming tonight, a man called John Kelly, a great producer. So I don't know why there's so many different versions. I think it was only recorded twice, but mixed thrice, maybe. I think the record company we thought it was going to be a hit. They did kept re-releasing it.
That's why we had a key change, wasn't it? We put in a key change to
Yeah.
make it
That's right,
transition
yeah.
to make it bright and young and youthful.
Apart from taking out the posthumous Dodo, there's only sort of 2 albums he ever recorded as the Bible. Is you know, at the time, why was that? I mean, did you want? I know you had sort of tracks left over, and obviously the split happened. But is there sort of any extra material that hasn't been released that could possibly see the light of day in the future at some point?
A lot of it's come out already on albums like Anti-Clockwise, but I think we were one of those bands, to be honest, that got a little bit A&R out of existence. We did a lot of recording, and I think they were expecting us to be something that maybe we weren't. Yes?
Yeah. Well, there's other stuff from that record never came out.
There's some stuff recorded in Wales too. That
Yeah.
one track we did tonight actually. That never
Yeah.
came out. So there is some stuff actually. Yeah,
I mean,
there's,
it
I'm
wasn't,
not sure
it
who
wasn't
owns
a
it,
sort of split.
We've never actually split up.
No, it's just we ran out of money. They stopped giving us money. We were all broke, weren't we?
Yeah.
So you got someone's flat.
Demo land. didn't
Oh
we?
really?
Yeah.
So the split never actually
No,
happened?
and Dodo wasn't posthumous. We just carried on where we'd left off.
That was
for a while.
That was on Warner's paid for that, and then they didn't put it out, so we put it out ourselves. Any young bands watching this, don't take any advice from us.
Do you think that should Eureka have charted higher than actually did at the
I
time?
remember thinking it would do. I remember being disappointed because it's still not sold as much as the first one that we put out, and we did all. I think we were quite good at the beginning of doing stealth marketing, weren't we? Before it was invented, we sort of would go around and leave
What's
copies. Well, we'd go around and leave copies of
Stealthily.
Stealthily, yeah.
Well, you said you were from Norwich as well. That was early stealth marketing, wasn't it?
Yeah, maybe.
Norwich was cool, and you weren't from Norwich. You said you were from Norwich, so people bought
Why
the
would you say
record.
that?
I think in terms of the mainstream as well at that time, I mean, a lot of it was kind of like Stock Aitken Waterman sort of Euro pop. It was very, it was the dawn of the digital era, and it was. Our sound maybe wasn't considered to be that current at the time. I don't know. We were still hunting with bands like Aztec Camera and Lloyd Cole and Commotions who were doing similar things, writing songs and playing real instruments, but it was definitely the minority of bands that were doing that. It wasn't, the predominant sound, I think. So we had work it out, didn't we? With what was
But at one point, I think
selling huge amounts at that time.
Boo alluded to the fact that maybe that the records were shifting, but the sales they weren't sort of getting. You weren't getting the actual positions that you should have got. Maybe that was
definitely
single-wise.
the first record. I know that for a fact from because
Yeah?
they were kept in the warehouse.
Yeah, that's
in
right.
the same warehouse as some of the major. We definitely sold more than things that were in the top 20. I know that because I'd be helping the warehouses.
So how did that come about? How could it?
Because in those days, people would it was really easy to rig the charts. You remember where we worked? These had chart return shops. You go in there if you're from BMG with a bottle of whiskey and give it to the man, you buff through loads of BMG stuff. So I know because before we could give up work, we both used to work in a record warehouse. Didn't we?
Yeah.
We got penalised as well for producing too many formats.
Well, once
we
we
were
were
good, didn't we?
Yeah, we did by then.
Did you?
Yeah.
What formats were there?
We got a single in a box with loads of photographs.
Which
Oh, I see.
Lee's mum put the pictures in the box, didn't she?
Did you?
You told me that.
Put the pictures in the
You
box.
told me there was the box single that she was working at the factory where they put the singles,
Oh, really?
the things in the box.
That could have been somebody else. No.
Anyway,
Yeah, anyway, moving on. No,
Is that not true? That's not true.
the first time was at the top of the indie charts, right? Wasn't it? Walking the Ghost. That
Yeah.
was, that was,
possibly.
but Crystal picked up on that, didn't they? They distributed it, I think.
They're
Do you not listen?
They're just chatting away.
Right.
Sorry.
How's the band sort of dynamic changed then, since the first incarnation, as it were?
It's
Early
it's
times.
nicer.
It's much easier, it's a little less fraught.
Much more relaxed.
We are,
Not so much angst about it, really.
I think we're friends. I hope we're friends, and that's more important.
Yeah.
Isn't it? And
So-
we all, I think we're all a lot more accomplished than we were then. We all play better and stuff. So.
Yeah, because we all do lots of different things and we've kept our playing up, so the playing's not a problem. It's not a question of fishing your guitar out of the loft and dusting it off.
Actually, it was.
What's with
Sorry
you?
to disturb you, but yeah, with me, yeah,
What's
I
with you?
played
Yeah,
for
but you were
years.
but then you were the best one at the first rehearsal. So how does that work?
Well, that's because I'm not sure. Maybe I'm not as busy. But yeah, I hadn't played for years, and it was great to get back with these guys because it was just easy, just working with them. This time round, everyone's much more relaxed. And everything just sounds great. We've got other elements with Kate St John, Martin Barker as well. Other elements coming into the band, and it just sounds great. Really good this time.
Is there new material being worked on? Looking towards a new sort of Bible album then?
There's 2 new ones in the set tonight.
Yeah,
Yeah?
if we can make the
Fantastic.
time, we will.
Yes.
What are they called tonight, new tracks?
There's one called Static, which is a largely Tony's song, which is the first time we're playing it tonight. It's a really lovely song.
Yep.
It will stick in your head. And another song which we played last time, it's called Money Spiders. And they're 2 of our favourites, I would say.
But yeah,
They don't feel-
Bad Day in Heaven.
And Bad Day to Have, which is not that, it's the first time we played it live.
Yeah.
They're 2 brand new songs.
Yeah.
So, but if you look to the future for a potentially sort of release date of an album, when anything in your head?
Well, even when we did this a year ago, we thought we've got together by now. It's just difficult because we're also busy playing music. It's difficult to make music. It's a weird thing.
I think an EP would be a good thing to aim for. I don't know what an album is anymore. People put it on iTunes and stuff. You just download individual tracks anyway, don't you? So
Because the music industry,
guessing,
music business has changed a lot as well. Now these days. So EPs could be the way forward. A lot of bands say forget the album as it was.
Yeah.
But I've seen up there outside, you still in the vinyl. I mean, if you put a new release out, would it be vinyl as well?
Well, vinyl's come back.
It's come back a
again,
bit, yeah.
So it's kind of foolish not to, really.
There was a company, the guy got in contact with me, they're called Vinyl 180, I think they're called. And he said, it's brilliant. It's brilliant to have something on vinyl. There's nothing like the thrill of getting a new record and taking it out, is there? Feeling static on the record and that. So you don't really get that with the download, do you?
With hindsight, with the name the Bible, has it been a help or a hindrance to you?
It's a hindrance when searching for it on the net. Definitely.
Why?
Yeah, you get. Well,
Do you know if the net had existed, we'd definitely have come up with more than that.
Definitely.
Yeah, it has to be called the Bible, the band, to get to the website and stuff.
But we didn't
for millions.
The would probably be worse than searching forward.
The band A.
Oh, yeah. Oh, stuff.
But so it would be a different name there in this modern world, I suppose.
I think it could be.
I don't think it was ever really a hindrance. We got to #1 in Salt Lake City, didn't we?
We did, yeah. But the first
The Mormon capital of America.
the first tour that we did, there were a lot of disappointed goths in the audience. Do you remember that? Particularly in Carlisle.
Oh, Carlisle, oh my God.
Very angry with us. Being gothic.
Yeah, but they couldn't really get angry though, being goths, could they?
No.
They just looked sullen.
What are the best Bible sort of live nights that you remember playing across the years?
Quite seriously, probably the last time we played in London and the time before in the grounds. They were 2 of my favourites.
I have to go with that.
Like, without the one before that was 12 years ago or something like that. But those are my
Borderline.
Borderline was
That's it.
not the Borderline. No, at the Grand before. I remember that was the first time we did the Grand.
Alright, I was going to say the first time we ever played the Borderline. That was the one we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, I think for me it'd
One of
be.
my favourites.
I think it'd be King Tut's Wawa. That's
Oh,
it. Glasgow.
Was
It was
that
a
the
fantastic night.
Was that that's a reform one, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, it was the first time round originally, and then it was voted. There was some website. It was one of the 5 best ever gigs in Scotland. So.
Before,
Do you remember that?
That was the gig they voted for was a reform.
Right, yeah, the 90s one.
Yeah.
That's good.
Still.
That's good for me.
But my memory of that gig is that we got an encore, but it was really snowy, wasn't it? And we got shut out properly, do you remember, on the fire escape.
Was there a tap moment on the fire escape?
And so we couldn't get back in, and there's people clapping, and then I ran on stage and fell over and fell flat on my face. That's my memory. So you have a good memory of it. I just remember my face being inside.
That's what I was going for. I see.
It's more of a visual thing.
Right.
On a solo perspective, then, what's everyone doing?
Well, I'm a lecturer. I've got a day job, but I also do a lot of. I do mainly drum percussion gigs at the moment. So I play a lot of bands on the south coast, and I do a lot of sort of gigs with different people on that.
Great stuff.
You play with David Gray, didn't you?
In David Gray's band, I've got a duo with Catherine Williams
Oh yeah.
and in Marianne Faithfull's band. So it's quite busy.
Yeah, definitely.
I do my own records. I play with Eddie Reader. I play with Heidi Talbot, who's an Irish singer. I've got a duo with an American called Brooks Williams, which is called State of the Union. And I also make records with Chris Difford from Squeak.
And I've got a day job. I haven't played bass for ages, but I came out of retirement to be with these guys to play that again, and it's all just come back, and I just want to do more, really. But
But there's no better band to be in, I think. I don't know if you realise, but there's so many people out there that have been sort of very proud for many, many years to know the Bible. And it's, and long may it continue. I'm sure they're all going to be here tonight. But thanks a lot for your time, by the way. But just to finish off, if you had to individually choose, what sort of 3 tracks that you would say you're most proud of the work that the Bible have done, which 3 would you be choosing?
It's cheating.
sorry.
Go on, Dylan.
I'd go for Buzz Aldrin. That's one we haven't. Yeah, that's never been released. It's one of my favourites. And the new tracks that we're doing tonight.
Yeah.
I'll go with those. I'm just singing those all the time. They're great. I think they're going to be great ones.
It changes all the time. I really love the new ones. When we were in rehearsal this time, I was really struck by King's Chicago for the first time in ages. It's a very, very first song, and for some reason I found it really moving. And I still, when I do my solo sets, I still like playing Grace Ann and Honey Be Good. But I like many of them. Those 3 just for the sake of argument.
Yeah, they do change all the time. I think if there's kind of personal ones for just things like, for your own achievements. I think for me there'd be things like First Day in Hell, Buzz Aldrin and Red Hollywood. But in terms of the songs, some of my favourite things are like Mahalia, which I didn't even play on the original. And I think that's fantastic. But looking down the list, there's just so many of them. There's nothing.
There's no duffers.
There's nothing I don't
No.
like.
You've never done a bad song, that's for sure.
And there's an interesting thing when you have a long break and come back to songs that you thought you'd kind of had got a bit tired, just suddenly having, like you were saying about King Chicago, I guess, which played to death forever, and then suddenly it's sort of alive again. So they're all good.
I choose Grace Ann's skywriting and a song called White Feathers, which is a sort of it's a kind of demo that was put on future versions of Eureka.
Yeah.
That's a good song. There's also a very obscure track on the first album which we never played, but called Kid Galahad, which is I really like.
Kid Galahad and the Chrome Kinema.
That's right, yeah. It was just me and you basically, wasn't it? It's a very sparse track. I just really like that as well. So.
There was a kinema in.
What was that?
The cinema in Cambridge called the Kinema, and it had been shut for years and years and years.
It's like 30s sort of.
30s cinema. And it always used to fascinate me, and someone very kindly snuck out one night in the middle of the night and took all the letters down and gave me the letters. So I had the letters. Did you? I had the letters, yeah.
That was used, wasn't it? That person was you, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
God, that's amazing. Did you give them back?
No.
You should have.
No, they were knocking it down. They were just about to knock it down. So I just had them in a little row under the stairs.
Awesome.
Well, fantastic, and it's a fantastic venue. I've never played here before. It's quite recently
No.
sort of open for bands, I think.
Yeah.
What,
I think
what does it
was
sound
open
like?
a long time ago, wasn't it? You were saying, Steve.
I've certainly done gigs here years ago,
Yeah.
20 years ago.
Yeah.
Ah.
But I haven't been here for a very long time. Well, the sound crew was saying they've been running about 18 months now.
Yeah,
And,
that's right. I started.
New PA and stuff. But it's the first time I've tripped over it again, that's for sure.
It sounds great. I mean, every venue sounds better when there's people in it.
Yeah,
especially
yeah,
if they're shouting and cheering.
It certainly will be. But anything else you'd like to say to Music News watchers?
Over to you, Leroy.
Yeah, you've been the most sort of cohesive person.
It's just great to be back. Yeah, we just hope to put out more stuff in the future. We just need to get the time and get together and get some recordings done so we can get some stuff out. So, yeah, look forward to it.
Great stuff. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.
Enjoy the gig tonight. Thanks a lot for your time. Cheers.